I asked ChatGPT to design an architecture diagram for a web application. This is what it created. This made me think about the future of solutions architecture and how AI can make architects more productive. By now, we know that AI can code. We also know that programmers are not being replaced by LLMs. We've been talking a lot about coding automation and software development disruption by AI, but I didn't read much about the impact on design and architecture of systems and applications. This doesn't mean that solution architects are immune to AI disruption. I did an experiment with ChatGPT 4. I started with a basic high-level requirements prompt. Design a simple architecture for an analytics dashboard web application where the front end is built with React.js, back end is microservices based, and the database is PostgreSQL. I was pleased by the answer. For the front end, it suggested using REST APIs or GraphQL, Redux, and even D3 and Chart.js. For the back end, it recommended each microservice have its own schema within the database, which is good advice. However, using MQTT is not. The database should only be accessed via the backend microservices. Good. Then it continues with some other useful stuff like an API gateway, security, logging, and monitoring. It even explains how the flow works. That's nice. Then I wanted to generate a diagram for this architecture. Diagrams is an awesome Python package that lets you draw architecture diagrams with code. You should check it out. ChatGPT knows how to generate diagrams code. Copy and run the code. This is the generated diagram. What's interesting is that ChatGPT made some opinionated architecture decisions and choices, like using an API gateway and running services inside Docker containers without Kubernetes. I asked it to refine the architecture by specifying that the backend is composed of two microservices, users management and data analytics. The analytics service should be fast and use caching. Notice the choice of Redis for caching. I am not sure about the combination of a load balancer and API gateway. Let's see what ChatGPT thinks about this. Good thinking. We can just use a load balancer, but we lose some API gateway features that must be implemented within each service. Now, let's see what this looks like in AWS. It basically replaced the different components by AWS-specific products. I did some tweaking, removed the load balancer, and added a database replica. This looks nice as a first draft iteration of a high-level architecture. I finally asked ChatGPT to tell me the pros and cons of this architecture. It was thorough enough. Someone could definitely include this in an official architecture document. It would be a big productivity gain. Let's tell it in new information and see how it could help minimize cost. Yes, Lambda. But it also proposed other interesting ideas I wasn't thinking about. Here is the updated diagram. Sure, hallucination is an issue. ChatGPT tried to import imaginary libraries and confidently generated some strange, surrealist architectures. Now, what if cloud providers like AWS, Google Cloud, and Azure provided LLM-based assistance to help architects design solutions? These cloud providers have access to hundreds of solutions architects and architecture diagrams and documents that they can use to fine-tune LLMs with human-labeled data. GCP released last year an architecture diagramming tool that helps architects build on top of reference architecture templates. I think that we'll see generative AI integrated in such tools very soon. These smart assistants will help architects navigate options, fine-tune ideas, and select the best products and solutions for their requirements. But I also think that is just the beginning of how we think, design, and implement software, applications, and systems. I envision a future where autonomous agents will be able to gather requirements, architect solutions, design systems, code, deploy, and maintain them autonomously without human intervention. I think that we may also see AI building and maintaining and evolving architectures on the fly. A simple example could be an AI deciding to migrate a microservice from container to serverless Lambda function because it noticed that it is scarcely used and that this modification will save cost without impacting performance. This is not too far-fetched. I think it is possible and necessary to create auto-adaptive architectures. We will have to carefully think about how to box and control such AI, certainly, but I think they are inevitable.